I slipped into the squishy seat next to her and began to eat my soup. Something was tense, yet there was a little buzz. I glanced at Frankie. She winked. "We're getting out of here, sis. I have a plan. Be ready at dinner." I said I'd protect you, and I will. Tearing me away from the group during dinner was an enormous crash. Several of the older members of the humans were on the floor. Their bowls and food splattered everywhere. Almost all the aliens keeping watch moved towards them to see what had happened. They were our distraction. "Follow me, do not leave my sight, Annie." Frankie immediately grabbed my arm and firmly led me away. We all stopped in the narrow corridor while Kurt felt the wall. I followed everyone through the hidden door, and Frankie carefully and quietly closed it shut. My eyes widened in shock. We were outside. For 2 years we've been stuck inside there. No wind, no fresh air, no sky to look at. Greg pushed himself off the wall and handed each of us a sharp stick. The one they used to put things on our skin. Each one had been sharpened at one end, making it look like a dagger. "There," Freya said quietly, pointing to a line of trees in the distance. We all sprinted towards the cover of the trees. Frankie stuck to my side, constantly checking I was still with her. Forever my protector. Then we heard the familiar click and grunt. We weren't alone. A loud grunt made my body turn to look towards the alien. It looked angry, its lip curled, showing rows of fanged teeth. Its tail swished up and down in a threatening movement. It was as if time slowed when Kurt and Greg both charged at it. All 4 of them with their makeshift weapons stabbing into it over and over. The alien threw them off it. All of them sprawled on the floor in pain or unconscious. My eyes were on Frankie as the alien walked towards her. Her face was frozen in fear as the bloodied alien swished its tail. I didn't hesitate, didn't even think. I ran and jumped onto its back. My arm wrapped around his broad shoulder as my right arm swung hard and fast, lodging my stick into its neck. The alien dropped to its knees, blinked once in its creepy way, and then fell flat on its face. My sudden pride soon disappeared when I spotted Greg leaning over Freya, shaking her. There was a pool of blood next to her head. "We have to move," Kurt commanded as he held his arm. I watched Greg stand over Freya's lifeless body and move towards us. "Let's go," he said in a low, expressionless tone. When it began getting darker, we decided to rest. Me and Frankie found some huge leaves which were so soft we used them as our bait and blanket. We snuggled into the same makeshift bed and cuddled together for the first time in years. It wasn't safe. It definitely wasn't safe. We woke after only a few hours to snarls unlike anything I'd ever heard. Greg ran first. We all followed. Our steps fast, trying desperately to get as far from the creatures as possible. I heard the sloshing of water before I saw it. I watched as Greg and Kurt started wading through it. It was pitch black. Me and Frankie edged towards the black water. Kurt and Greg were already almost across it. Greg and Kurt began to haul themselves onto the bank on the other side of the black water. They were struggling as though the water was gripping their legs. "I'm stuck," Kurt screamed. "Don't come in, girls. Stay there," Greg yelled back to us. A figure draped in the black water began to rise from the water behind them. A dome-shaped head rose, and with it tentacles which danced in the air. While frantically searching for something to use as a weapon, I yelled at Frankie. "What do we do?" Frankie stood there watching wide-eyed, still clutching her waist. I finally found something resembling a stone and went to throw it when I realized Kurt wasn't there anymore. Just Greg struggling to climb out of the water while whimpering and crying. In a movement so fast, Greg had 2 tentacles wrapped around his body. He looked at us, not with fear but with acceptance. He mouthed one word to us, "Leave," before he was dragged into the water, the figure disappearing with him. How there were 5 of us and now just 2. "We have to hide somewhere, Frankie," I whispered. She only nodded. I spotted one of huge flowers with ribbons in the center. "Here. We hide in here." I gently opened the flower and held the petal up above my head so Frankie could crawl in. As we curled together inside, the petal dropped so we were completely enclosed. I woke to me and Frankie entwined in each other's limbs and smiled softly to myself until I heard her groan in her sleep. Slowly untangling myself from her, I sat up and studied her. Her face was paler than usual, her hand still on her waist. Softly I lifted her hand. "I'm fine," Frankie said hoarsely. "You're hurt, Frankie." "How?" My voice trembled as I spoke. "When the alien threw me, I got cut with something." "It's fine. It'll heal." I lifted her dress so I could see it clearer. The cut was small, but the outside of it was a mix of red and deep blue, as though it was bruised, but this wasn't bruising. It was an infection. My stomach swirled. I tried to be my positive self, but that cut was not something that healed on its own. No, that was something that you didn't recover from. I swallowed hard and desperately held back my tears, because if they fell they wouldn't stop.